Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the first webinar titled Empowering AI in Robotics and Agritech, Leveraging Testing and Experimentation Facilities for AI and Robotics Innovation in Agriculture Innovations. Today is 18th of December 2024, and this introductory webinar is the first in a series designed for the interested parties. Next slide, please. I am Gohari Sahanyan from Wageningen University and Research, senior scientist specialized in socioeconomic impact of digitalization, including business model innovations. And today I am honored to serve you as the moderator of this webinar. During this webinar, we will introduce you to agrifoodTEF program, which is a pioneering European network designed to help agri-food technology companies develop AI and robotic solutions through real-world testing and validation. Shortly after this introduction, the floor will be given to Julia Garsaniga, Policy and Project Officer at the European Commission's AI Office, where she works on AI innovations and policy coordination. Julia will walk us through the TEF program, providing an overview and highlighting the EU expectations. And then afterwards, we will go on with Raffaele Giuffreda from Fondazione Bruno Kessler, the leader of agrifoodTEF project. He will provide an in-depth look at agrifoodTEF objectives and its unique features. Then we follow with a core topic, how SMEs and startups can apply to agrifoodTEF and leverage financial support. In this session, we will bring insights from panel of experts. We have Marie Wenslav from Josephinum Research, Austria, Marijke Hunning from Ilvo, Vlaanderen, Belgium, and Eduardo Corona from Fondazione Bruno Kessler, Italy. Then we will have a most engaging moment of the webinar. This is a Q&A. Our Q&A session is open. Please submit your questions via the chat, and we will read and reply them during the Q&A. After the Q&A, we will have Raffaele back with us to share closing remarks and outline the next steps for engaging with agrifoodTEF. And in terms of today's audience, we have made a quick summary. We have had 80 participants yesterday, and I heard this morning that we had already 90 people registered from 24 countries. And most of them are not surprisingly coming from research and academia, about 40%. But we are very happy that we have representatives from industries, SMEs, and technology providers, manufacturing representatives, government policies, even farmers welcome, and nonprofit NGOs. So thank you all for your registration and for your presence. We hope for an engaging and lively webinar. Partially because we have an engaging lineup of speakers and discussions, but also partially because we count on your active engagement and input given through the chat. So please add your questions in the chat comments. With these foundations now laid, I would like to move to the first presentation, where we will explore the broader context of TEF and EU expectations. Julia, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Gohar. I will share my screen. Okay. You can all see the screen. Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you, because I don't see you anymore. So, okay. Good morning, everyone, and thanks a lot for organizing this webinar, and as well for being still able to reach out to people before Christmas. I know it's always very hard at this timing. I'm Julia Carsaniga. I'm Policy Officer in DG Connect Unit A4, which deals with AI innovation and policy coordination, and which is now part of the European AI Office. My role states that I'm a policy officer indeed, but I also have some project office duties. In fact, I have the pleasure to be project officer at EU level for agrifoodTEF and also for 16 EDIs, European Digital Innovation Hubs in Germany. Today, I would like rather to give the EU perspective on what is our EU AI innovation ecosystem, in which testing and experimentation facilities are part of. So I will try to focus more on that, if that's okay. If I can change my slide, I will be happier. Okay, yes, I can. So as you know, AI has an explosive power, and since 2016, we have seen that private investments in AI have been skyrocketing, and more recently, even more with the advent of generative AI and ChatGPT. By 2030, the net impact of AI on the European economy is in fact expected to contribute to an additional 600 billion euros to what has been already estimated being 2.8 trillion euros. So there is a huge economic impact of AI and economic opportunity of AI for Europe. But unfortunately, as we know, compared to other states, the EU has still some way to go in order to profit from this economic potential. And this is very visible when we look at the adoption rate of AI technologies by companies. So in 2023, only 8% of small companies Europe were using AI technologies. This needs to be changed. And in fact, this was also the main narrative, I would say, in the report of Mario Draghi that was published in September this year. Draghi has highlighted the fact that Europe has now a window of opportunity to go out of the innovation and productivity trap of its economy by focusing on AI and focusing on integrating AI technologies in key sectors, from agriculture to automotive, advanced manufacturing, or healthcare. Draghi's words resonate very much also with our president, Ms. von der Leyen, who already in her political guidelines in July 2024 stressed the fact that Europe is leading in the way of making AI safer and more trustworthy, notably now with the adoption of the AI Act. But we must now focus more our efforts on becoming a global leader in AI innovation. What does she mean with that? Well, first of all, she means that the journey of the European Union and the work of the European Commission on AI hasn't not started just with the AI Act or now with these words saying we need to focus on AI more. We had a first communication already in 2018, which focused on AI. In 2021, there was the first proposal for the AI regulation and a revision of a coordinated plan trying to coordinate AI policies across member states. And ultimately, this year, 2024, we had the adoption and entry into force of the AI Act, the first regulation on artificial intelligence in the world. And an AI innovation package that was published also in January this year to foster AI uptake, especially from startups and SMEs. So we already see very much in this timeline that the European Union has been trying to foster an AI that is based on European values, that is trustworthy, but at the same time to foster an AI that is excellent and which allows the European economy to be innovative and competitive. And this is very much also what we see now in the configuration of the EU AI office, where my unit is located. So we are trying to go forward with implementation of the AI Act on the one hand. So we have units related very much to this mission, but we also have units, including mine, which try to focus on the research and innovation angle of AI and reposition Europe as a global leader in the field. How we are trying to do that, I would say with you, in the sense that the EU has already created or trying to shape an innovation ecosystem that we try to depict on this slide. And this ecosystem is made of different instruments, including testing and experimentation facilities, which try to go from the lab to the market when it comes to AI. So we have, for example, on the lab side and more co-funded through the Horizon Europe, elements that are dealt with my colleagues in Luxembourg and which are, for example, the networks of excellence. So a network of AI and robotics excellence centers, which try to address major challenges in science and technology when it comes to trustworthy AI. We have ADRA, which is AI and data and robotics partnership, which brings together industry, academia, and the European Commission to pursue innovative solutions in AI. We have the AI on Demand, which is an independent European hub with providing a marketplace to enable access to AI content, application, and services. And then we have a series of other elements that try to go from the lab and then to the market, to the adoption of AI. And these are, among others, the AI factories, which is a new name for something that was partially already there. So AI factories are facilities that will offer computing capacity to AI companies, but not only, to train their models, especially generative AI models. They will build on Euro HPC, so large computers, supercomputer facilities throughout Europe. As said, we already have 5 supercomputers, and there will be more. There was a call of application that ended in November. So by February 2025, in the first 100 days of the European Commission, these AI factories will be brought into life. And there will be key elements also to connect supercomputers to data and to offer services for the development of AI tools, especially generative AI. Then we have, as we know very well, the testing and experimentation facilities. If I can change my slide. Which offer control environment to test AI system in real world environments, and these facilities also very much focus on AI products, AI-based products in dedicated sector. So now we are in the webinar dedicated to the agrifoodTEF, but we also have other TEFs throughout Europe which relate to healthcare, to manufacturing, to smart cities. And then finally, going back to my previous slides, we see in these ecosystem also the European Digital Innovation Hubs, which are hubs also throughout Europe, dedicated more to support companies, especially small and medium enterprises, but also public sector organizations in implementing digitalization, or rather use digital technologies for their businesses, for example. So they were focused on a broader scale of technologies, but now we will focus more and more on AI as well. So they are a step, I would say, a step after what TEF do. And to better explain this, because I know it's a lot of different instruments, I will go to my next slide. So we have in this ecosystem a lot of different instruments, as I was saying, and the main mission now for you for us at the European level is to make all these instruments work synergetically together in order to have more AI innovation in Europe. We see very much TEFs at the center of this ecosystem in the sense that they will still help very much tech providers to bring their products, the AI-based products, into the market. And they will for sure also have a chance to collaborate with AI factories, on the other hand, that will focus more on the generative AI side of the story. TEFs and AI factories don't work, of course, in a vacuum, but they also collaborate with other instruments that are more, I would say, on the legal side. They also provide some kind of testing facilities, but rather to test the compliance with the AI regulation. So I'm now mentioning more AI regulatory sandboxes or the Union and AI testing and support infrastructure. Above all, but just figuratively, we see, as said, the European Digital Innovation Hubs, because they will be very much a contact point, an entry point for companies to adopt AI, but also for providers to be maybe connected to the other instruments such as TEFs. So we envisage very much the need for EDIs and TEFs to be more and more in collaboration with each other. And as I mentioned, we have also a series of toolbox that help EDIs in this mission, among others, the AI on demand platform. So all in all, while some may say that indeed the European Union is still lagging behind with respect to certain aspects of AI innovation or competitiveness, we have the chance now through these instruments to really make a change and transform our AI, our Europe into what our commissioner now calls an AI continent. And to do so, I report here some of the priorities we will have in the next months, which is, of course, the AI Act implementation, but also the creation, as said, in the first 100 days of the AI factories. And in Q4 2025, two very important elements, which will also highlight the importance of TEFs and the instruments I just mentioned, which is the Apply AI strategy, a new strategy for the European Union to foster industrial uses of AI. So integration of AI in key verticals, in key industries, as well as in the public sector. And the important part of this will be also the angle of talents and skills. And by Q4 2025, we'll also have European AI Research Council, so focusing more on fostering our research capabilities in AI in Europe. I will stop here. I hope to have been to some extent clear, and I'm happy to have questions later. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you for sharing this EU vision for AI and the potential that we have in Europe. I have a few questions, but I will keep my questions for Q&A part. But if participants also have questions, please post it in the Q&A part so we can read it. But now let's dive deeper into the specifics of the agrifoodTEF project itself. And yeah, Raffaele, I think the floor is yours, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Gohar. Thank you, Julia. Hello, everybody. I'm Raffaele Giaffreda from Fondazione Bruno Kessler, and I'm the coordinator of the agrifoodTEF project. So can I have the next slide, please? Just to give you in a nutshell, the overview of what agrifoodTEF is. This is one of the European network and testing experimentation facilities that are specifically focused around agri-food. So what we do is assess and validate AI and robotic solutions for the agri-food sector. What we do provide is real-life testing opportunities, services for all Europe, despite the fact that The consortium is located in the countries that you see there on the left-hand side. So we have a number of 35 plus partners dislocated in an area that covers various regions of Europe, from the north to the south, to east to west, really to make sure that the growing facilities or the facilities that we make available to our customers are indeed representative of what agri-food production is in Europe. Can I have the next slide, please? So the objectives and challenges. So we are providing a lot of support for technology, therefore validation of new technologies that are to be deployed to the market. We've seen a number of regulations that have been drafted in the past years related to AI and also data-related acts that go with it. So there's a lot of services that do deal with the compliance as well as business. If I can click the next slide, just to go into the details from the technology side. That's the purpose of the project, the main purpose of the project, I would say. So we have physical facilities, we have physical service, we provide physical services, therefore providing support for companies and SMEs that need to showcase their solutions within our facilities. So we have infrastructured environments, outdoors as well as indoors within greenhouses. And we give the opportunity to test in different conditions the solutions that these customers want to deploy and get ready and performant before hitting the market. We do also have digital services. Testing AI and robotics is a lot about the validation in the fields, but as well, there's a lot of support that is needed from the digital side to make sure that all the algorithms that are used can indeed perform in situations that are not necessarily fully supported by connectivity, as we always find in a rural environment. This is hard to achieve, and therefore you need algorithms that can test that can perform at the edge without necessarily relying on the backend cloud. And we do also have the need to train these algorithms outside the field, so to speak, with the digital services that we provide. On the compliance side, we have conformity assessment services that are there to accelerate the path to market. New regulation means that companies and SMEs out there need to fulfill a number of compliance regulations. And this is where we help companies to assess what's needed from their side to make sure that their products are ready for market adoption and therefore fully compliant with what are the expectations of the European legislation landscape. And then, of course, we don't only provide services, but we also exploit the wide network of partners and communities that surround the current consortium. So we help companies that work with us to raise their visibility through interactions with potential business partners, with potential customers that could buy their solutions. And this is where we leverage the strong ecosystem that is coming with all the partners that are engaged in this project. Next slide, please. So who is our target? Well, the target is mostly for SMEs. We do provide services also for bigger organizations, but I would say that the key focus is really helping SMEs to enrich their capabilities because just the focus, especially in the last years, has been really on making sure that you can hit the market as quickly as possible, provide value for your shareholders, and get a share of the market as quickly as possible. So it is natural that many SMEs are not structured and they might have constrained resources when it comes to testing and validating their solutions. On the AI side, of course, you need a lot of manpower to do testing and validation, training of algorithms. You need a lot of hardware. You need the GPUs. You need expensive machines to run your tests. And therefore, this is something that not many SMEs can afford right from the start. And this is where we step in. Next slide, please. So the TEF is really there to expand our customers' own resources by enlarging the opportunities that they have to assess and validate their solutions. So not only assessing and validating, but also getting the help of the experts. So we do have in the consortium the help of experts that are experts, of course, on the digital side, on the AI side, and the robotics side, that can help you improve particular performance of an algorithm or of a particular, perception algorithm that you can have deployed. But we do also have the support of agronomic experts that are there to assess the validity of your proposed solutions from an agronomic perspective, and therefore making sure that whatever is being done has indeed chances of providing value add then to the farmers that are out there looking for solutions that will help them differentiate from the competition, as well as ripen as much value as possible from their production. So we provide a catalog of services to innovation companies. And as I said, the purpose is then to engage with these companies and help them deliver faster, help them assess their product for robustness, getting them ready for the market. Next slide, please. In terms of focus, we do have three main areas. Of course, robotics is one. We benchmark solutions from the autonomy perspective, making sure that autonomous driving within agriculture machinery can fit the targets of precision as they move within the fields, between files, without having to create too much damage to the crop. We do work with precision, making sure indeed that robotic arms or any actuators can indeed position themselves very close to the subject of the actuation. And we do help robotic company to achieve safety tests that are indeed needed from a compliance perspective before having these products adopted from the farmers. On the AI assessment side, there's a lot of computer vision. There's a lot of solutions that are out there that produce support for the farmers in terms of decision support systems that help them control the yield, control of quality, as well as control for, let's say, making sure that practices can indeed be sustainable, and therefore looking at all the solutions that are hitting the market, making sure that not only they bring value, but they also do not cause any harm to the soil and to the sustainability of the sector. And then, of course, the AI and the robotics do feed heavily on data. And this is where we provide support for making sure that also the data that is produced in these experimentations can be valorized with the help, of course, of the customers that help us collecting this data. and making sure that indeed there is an opportunity for them to monetize, and for farmers as well to monetize the data that is being collected in their fields if they so want. Next slide, please. So from an overall perspective, this is again stepping back and seeing what the results of our engagement with the innovation companies out there should be for the benefits of Europe. So we expect an after-TEF validation that will be there to improve the solutions that are offered for all these sectors that you see there on the right-hand side, and making sure that the adoption of innovation in the agricultural sector and the agri-food production sector steps up indeed, as it has done already in many other sectors. Can I have, I think this was my last slide. So just to conclude, plenty of opportunities from this project that will be then running now in the next 3 years. So we've been spending the first 2 years in preparing the catalog, in making sure that there's a complementarity of offers between all the different nodes that we have represented in Europe. Now is the time to ensure that this project will deliver to its expectations, and therefore just deliver as many services as possible to the innovative companies that are out there. That's me. Thank you. I will hand over now to the next session.
Thank you, Raffaele, for that comprehensive overview. It's clear that agrifoodTEF has immense potential to boost AI and robotics innovation in the agri-food sector. That you've made it very clear. And for our participants, if you are interested and want to know more about agrifoodTEF, of course, you can visit our website and the catalog, our social media channels. We are active there. For now, I want to go to our next part of the webinar about applications for SMEs and startups. We start with Eduardo Corona, Program Manager at Fondazione Bruno Kessler, Italy, and then we will continue with Marie from Austria, and then Marijke from Belgium, and then they are going to enlighten us with those practical and actionable insights on how SMEs and startups can apply to agrifoodTEF and access financial support. So I'm very curious. Eduardo, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Gaur. So basically, I'm Eduardo. Now we'll talk about briefly what are the requirements to join the TEF to benefit from our services. As we already discussed with Raffaele, we offer services that are specific to the agri-food sector. Therefore, the first requirement is that the technology that you're developing has to be applied, maybe not exclusively, but has to be applied to the agri-food sector, the ones that we were shown in the previous slide. And it has also to be a solution related to AI robotics, at least in part of it. So next slide. So the other requirements are that in order to benefit from the discount on the cost of the services, you have to be part of a European country, part of the Digital Europe program, which is not only European Union, but also Iceland, Norway, and Liechtenstein. And you have to have access to state aids. You have to be eligible for state aids in order for the part of this co-funded by the state, by the member state. And lastly, if you also are, but this is not an exclusive requirement, a small medium enterprise, SME, or startup, you may benefit from larger discounts up to the full cost of the service, so 100% discount. Different approaches are followed by each node on how this funding works. And now I will talk a little bit more in detail about the Italian node. I see the question about the U. I don't believe U is included, but they will reply better in the Q&A. The Italian node is composed by these 7 partners. We are FBK, Fondazione Bruno Kessler, FEM, Fondazione Edmund Mack from Trento, and we provide AI and agronomic competencies and facilities located in Trentino. Then we have Polimi and Unimi, which are Politecnico di Milano, University of Milan, located in Milan, both of them, and they provide the AI and robotics benchmarking. CREA, which is the proving ground for robotics and machinery, the University of Naples, with competence of Mediterranean products, and lastly, our communication partner, Trust IT from Pisa. And we offer digital services for validation of AI, benchmarking of robotics, field testing facilities for both of them. And lastly, our focus is on made in Italy and agri-food quality and agricultural machinery, together with Federunacoma, which is an agency related to this. And next slide. Okay, our success story is GeoInference, which was our first customer. They provide an AI solution for apple farming, and based on computer vision, and we provided to them software validation and assessment on their bottlenecks, helping them having a more efficient software and technology. Lastly, our system is based, as we discussed, we have different approaches, is based on GBER, Article 27 and 28. And with this system, the Italian node can provide a 100% discount on the services to SMEs, small medium enterprise, based on the European criteria, which are slightly different sometimes from the national ones. We might link the specific page where you can find the exact criteria to identify yourself as an SME or not. And to other companies, we can provide up to 80%, but there are various factors that are applied to this. But so it's specific to each customer. We need to define with you how much we can provide as a discount, how much should be your contribution. The process is relatively simple. We are the one registering the state aid on behalf of our customer, and out of that 100% discount, you only will be accounted for the 50% that are state provided as state aid. So the value for you is even lower, so you have more margin on it. And the co-funding agency for the Italian node is the MIMIT, Ministero delle Imprese del Made in Italy. I guess that is all for my part. I leave the floor to Marijke from the Belgian node.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Marijke Hunnink. I'm the technical manager of the Belgian node. So the main mission of the Belgian node is to bridge the gap between research and real-world application by offering companies high-quality testing and validation tools and support to facilitate the development and marked introduction of AI, robotics, and digital innovations. At ILVO, we have an extensive research infrastructure with 8 research facilities spread across Flanders, including experimental fields, greenhouses, and animal houses. Those facilities allow us to test, innovate technologies in a realistic, controlled environment, so company can optimize and accelerate their solution to the market. Next slide, please. So within the Belgian node offers innovative testing, data analysis and support services to business, farmers and researchers, helping them to translate new technologies into real-world applications. So if you look closer to a specific use case that we performed recently, that was within the agri-dataset generation service, and it was an agrifood system. This is an innovative approach, integrating solar panels with agriculture, combining energy production and crop protection. This system allowed farmers to generate additional income from solar energy production while cultivating crops, especially those that require less light, such as broccoli. Additionally, the hydroponics system is employed to grow lettuce in the vertical space. Rainwater captured on the solar panels can be used for irrigation or support the hydraulic system. The solar panels also generate electricity to charge an electric tractor, which can be recharged on the field using inductive charging. So this system promotes dual use of farmland, contributing to more sustainable food and energy production. So within our services, whether we use better through data, AI, drones, or sensors, we are helping companies, farmers, and businesses to make more important decisions to grow better crops, improve livestock health, and reduce environmental impacts. You can go to the next slide. So if you look at the funding opportunities, so we provide services to SME startups with a discount. The size of the amount of discount depends on two factors. So whether the company has available de minimis budget, so every company has a maximum amount of state aid that it can be received. But it also depends on the maturity of the technology being used or the service. So if the technology or the service is new and less developed, the discount can be larger. So what are the de minimis rules within the Belgium node? So companies must check if they still have room in their budget and confirm this through a self-declaration as part of the service agreement. So the total amount of the minimis aid guaranteed to companies must be not exceeded of the over 300,000 euro over a 3-year period. So if we look at cross-border, so the rules do not only apply to the Belgian companies, but all companies in the countries participating in the Digital Europe program. So this means that we also can offer discount services to companies coming from other countries as long as they comply with the de minimis rules. I give now the word to the Austrian notes, to Marie.
Thank you, Marijke. Hello, dear listeners. I would now like to conclude by introducing the Austrian node of the agrifoodTEF project. My name is Marie Wenslav. I'm working at Josephinem Research, a research institute with a strong focus on applied research in agriculture technologies, in digitization and agriculture. We are located in Lower Austria. And we are the lead partner of the Austrian consortium. We are supported in the provision of services as part of the TEF project by our partners Raumberg-Gumpenstein Research and Development and the University of Applied Sciences Vienna Neustadt. In particular, we provide physical infrastructures such as test fields, machine test stands, and, for example, a drone airfield for automated flying. Raumberg-Gumpenstein has, among others, numerous test barns and stables, and this covers the sector of livestock farming. But of course, we also contribute digital infrastructure and resources, such as specific data sets that are tailored to the needs of our clients. And here I have collected a short overview about our services delivered so far, the services that we have already carried out, with customers from Austria, but also from other EU countries, or in particular the testing of prototypes. For example, the autonomous weeding robot or other smart implements. And the same applies to our partner in animal husbandry. For example, they have tested smart sensor systems for animal health monitoring, as well as they provided data sets for further training of these algorithms. Well, and we, like all the other partners, design our range of services in close cooperation with our customers. And this is the most important message here. We are constantly revising and expanding our set of services. And with the next slide, I will close this section with a short look at the funding opportunities that we can offer here in Austria. This is basically the same as in the Belgian node. So this project enables us to provide our services to SMEs and startups at a reduced cost. We can also offer these services to companies that do not fall into these categories, but then not with the discount, because this is related to the funding. And the other important aspect for SMEs and startups to get the discount is an open contingent in the company's Austrian de minimis budget. Mareike did explain this before for the Belgian part. And yeah, well, basically these conditions apply to all companies from countries that are part of the Digital Europe program. And in any case, and this also applies to our partners involved, in TEF, we encourage our companies in the agri-food industry to get in touch with us. With all the project partners, we will support you in all steps related to the funding, and we will find the best option for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Marie. I hope it's more or less clear how SMEs and startups especially can apply for agrifoodTEF for financial support and how they can benefit from agrifoodTEF project. Now it's a more interactive part, and we have a few questions already in the Q&A and a chat. I'm going to post them and maybe also assign the one who can answer the best. So the first question that appeared is, what would be the best way to connect to the TEF? Maybe Raffaele, would you like to respond to that?
Yeah, so the best way is really just going through the catalog, trying to understand what is the services that are offered, and then getting in touch with a representative of the project, depending on which country you're in. Then there is different partners that are available in the countries represented in the consortium, or there is also an info kind of mailing list that we keep open for all other queries. So feel free to reach out through the contacts that you'll see on the website. And then, just normally we have an interaction with potential customers to broadly understand what are the requirements, what type of services are needed, and then there is an onboarding procedure through which companies and proponents within the agrifoodTEF project submit a service request. A service request is coming from the company and is vetted by the partner that can provide support to that request.
Yes, thank you, Raffaele. That rolls out into just send an email to a contact person of the services you are interested. The other question is, how is the TEF test facility financed? Maybe Raffaele,
I can provide that. So what we have is it's a budget of 60 million. 30 million euros comes from the European Commission, and the other 30 million euros come from the member states. So every node in our network is supported by co-funding agencies within their member states. And normally these co-funding agencies they are the ones that co-fund the partners within the agrifoodTEF, in the understanding that co-funding is passed on as services to the SMEs that apply for these services.
Yes. Great. Another question is if the UK included, and somebody else also asked, are there also TEF hubs in other EU countries? In terms of UK, yeah, UK is part of the Horizon Europe program, but not Digital Europe program. So at the moment that the TEF is sustainable enough, they can expand it to financially sustainable. I mean, they can expand it to other countries outside Digital Europe program. But in terms of other EU countries, that is also as long as we are co-funded by Digital Europe program, we are focusing on EU countries. But in a long term, we might also consider other clients coming from other countries outside European Union. So the other question is, why does Italian TEF only focus on Italian tech? It's not only that Italian focuses on Italian, but also Austrian focuses on Austrian, German, Dutch tech. So each node focuses on local tech, and that is the structure that have been chosen. Maybe you can take on from here, Raffaele?
Yes. So as I was explaining before, there's a support from Europe and a support from member states. Of course, member states invest in these companies because there is, or in these programs because there is an interest for the nation first and foremost. And this is the nature of the funding. Having said that, we do have KPIs that push us to deliver services outside the countries that are represented in the consortium. So this is something that indeed has to be covered until the end of the project.
Okay, great. Another question is that if the 100% discount under de minimis a rule also applicable in other nodes like Spain or the Netherlands?
Yeah, so there are, as you could see, there are different rules. So from Italian perspective, we decided to, the Ministry of Innovation decided to apply the GPR Article 2728, which is basically something which is similar to the de minimis, but it is focused on, let's say, innovative services and consultancy services that are provided. So it doesn't mix up with all the other type of services that can be exploited by the SMEs in the context, for example, of the de minimis legislation. Having said that, each country have got their own rules, and for that we would need a specific question to be addressed by the node leaders of the respective countries. But I think there is an opportunity as well to, let's say, avoid this. If you're willing to pay for the service, then there is no de minimis that get impacted. And therefore, this is a different way of also engaging with us.
Yes, I hope the answer is sufficient enough for the participants. Otherwise, we will hear you through the Q&A and or the chat. The last question is, how can we set up as a node in an EU country that isn't involved yet? So an additional extra node. What are the possibilities, Raffaele?
Yeah, so this is a funding like you have in normal projects. So there's a budget that has been allocated to this project. There's a bid that has been made by the consortium, and that's it. So at the moment, this is a closed, let's say, call. and therefore this being implemented with the partners that are already there. So there's no opportunity to create an additional node within this this project. There will be probably further opportunities that will come with the new tenders from the Commission. And indeed, there might be also part of the sustainability plan of the agrifoodTEF. There might be indeed an extension beyond the duration of the project, and you know, this is clearly something that we will evaluate in the next coming months and years in terms of providing a sustainability plan for this initiative that once the European funding is ended, 3 years from now, then we'll have to, let's say, walk on its own feet. And this is where indeed it makes a business sense. Of course, all other nodes and satellite or other nodes in Europe will be welcome to join.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that is indeed part of the sustainability, financial sustainability plan, and how we continue as agrifoodTEF, also the legal form that is still under this discussion. But of course, in a long term, we want to expand our markets, also other EU countries, but also countries outside European Union or still in Europe. Thank you, Rafael. I have a very interesting question, by the way, to maybe our the panelists, and Marie, Eduardo, or Mareike. You can answer them if you want. So if I am, let's say if I'm an SME involved in agri-food sector, but I have no experience with digital solutions, will your node or will the agrifoodTEF help me select the best digital solution that suits my needs? And if so, which process should I follow? Eduardo or Mareike, are you still there?
Yeah, it was really a long question, but yeah, I think we always go interaction with the customer and just come to us, see what we can do. We will help you to see find the best solution that is applicable for your needs. Yeah. Also,
Okay.
if you do not have experience with digital tools, we can say what you come with your question, and we help to find your solution and introduce you to a digital or AI solution. Yeah.
Okay, great. So just direct contact, first contact.
Yeah.
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 My company is based in a country that is not a member of a EU Commission. Can I still get support from agrifoodTEF? And I think this question is for Rafael, I'm afraid.
Yeah, so if you're outside Europe, the answer at the moment is no, because we are indeed using funds from European Commission as well as from the member states to support this specific vision. Having said that, we started touching upon the sustainability plan. So agrifoodTEF will indeed have to become a business in the long run. And, you know, just as part of that, of course, we will expand our operations beyond Europe. But the focus for now, because of the nature of the funding, is specifically to the Europe and European countries.
Yes, thank you. I think looking at the time, we have a very short time left. Maybe we should jump into the next section, closing remarks and next step, and then I will summarize very short at the end. Rafael, please, the floor is.
Yes, so thank you, Gohar. Thank you for the questions that have been asked. Thank you for the audience for listening. So just you see there a number of links that are represented. This is the best way to follow what we are doing. We have a website which will keep on producing contents, as well as, you know, would be the first port of call for those of you who would like to know a little bit more, to engage, to find out what type of services can be exploited from this program. And you will see there a number of contacts through the social different channels in which we aim to load up success stories or things that might inspire you in terms of what the project has been doing and will be doing in the following years. So this was a 5 years project. I started 2 years ago. Now we are in this phase now where it will be more and more let's say front office type of delivery actions. So like in any business, you have a back office, and then you've got the front office that is there to engage with customers and shape up the offer within that business to follow what are also the requirements and the needs of the potential customers out there. So this is what we'll be doing in the remainder of our 3 years of execution. We'll be segmenting our potential market and trying to understand where we can provide most of the value in a way that really helps Europe thrive in this agri-food business with the support of the new technologies. So this is on the slide, you see the way to contact our nodes. You can stay tuned for upcoming webinars where we plan to go more in depth to some of the things that have been only hinted at today, thinking about benchmarking robotics, what type of services we provide, thinking about addressing the needs of AI developers, providing them digital services, as well as benchmarking services on third-party platforms, or as well with their own hardware if there's the need to do so. So more webinars to come, and stay tuned and get in touch with us. It will be our pleasure to serve you and the need of AI and robotics innovation in agri-food in Europe. Thank you.
Thank you, Raffaele. Thank you very much. And some final words from my side to our participants. I hope you leave today with a bit more clear understanding of how agrifoodTEF can support your innovation journey. And with that, we come to the end of today's webinar. And on behalf of agrifoodTEF and our esteemed speaker, including Julia, I'd like to thank you for joining us and contributing to this important discussion. As Raffaele said, this is just the beginning of a series of webinars, so we look forward to having you with us in the future sessions. And until then, thank you once again, our speakers, our participants, and wishing you all Merry Christmas and a peaceful, prosperous 2025.